We know you're kind of used to playing villains, and I wanted to know what do you think differentiates Mr. Johnston from the other ones that you played?
Stanley Johnston is very, comported in his demeanor. He's very polite. He's very appropriate, and he's the richest black man in the world. Turn down for what?
Your house is a testament to the synthesis of this culture.
Is he rich like me?
Refinement with aggression.
Does he take us anytime to show you what you need to live?
Hi Daniel, hi Theo, it's so nice to meet you. I just finished watching the show and I liked it very much. So we have two brothers, one is like the opposite of the other. So how was that dynamic for you two?
It was very important to us because that, is heightened and hyper real as the show is. The relationship between the family is the most important thing, and that brotherly love and competitivity and hatred that sets up, many of the themes of the show. So we worked on it hard at the beginning and then continued to work through it until the very end to find, vestiges of moments of truth within the kind of chaos and hilarity.
Welcome to the jungle.
So, Kaya, Susie is such a powerful character, especially because she's a woman in the middle of all these men in the business. So how was it for you to play such a big character and to create this powerful woman?
I mean, I just treated her as a person. That's what I try and do with all my characters. There's obviously situational challenges that come with being a woman, but I never look at my characters as strong females. I look at them as strong people. And Susie is strong. She's very good at what she does. She's intelligent and she's proud of that. She's not self-conscious. She's aware of her power. She's aware that she can be intimidating. And she uses her charm to get ahead. She's just a cool, interesting person. And that's what excites me about any role, that they have to be interesting, because man or woman, I've never met a human being who isn't interesting. So I would never want to play someone who isn't. It's just not realistic to me. And yeah, she's kind of got the biggest stick in the room sometimes, and that's pretty great.
I have to say, one of the craziest scenes for me was the one with the chicken costume. So I would like to know for each of you, which scene was the hardest one, or maybe a more challenging one to make?
I'm gonna say early doors. We had a scene in that first episode, which is just after the will reading scene, where it's my character Freddie and his wife Wham Tam. They're down in a wine cellar, if you remember, and he comes down and has to sort of face the music.
How would you say your characters evolved during the show?
Well, mine is, it's about morality. I think he tries to save this kid at the beginning of the show, this Jethro kid, because he believes, in goodness. And by the end, he's been poisoned by it, so he doesn't really give a shit. And he's become, a darker person who's enticed by power and violence.
I don't know, it was a tricky one with Freddie, because it was like, I always felt like the best thing would be for his character to always have to sort of worry about me. Do you know what I mean? To worry about his older brother. And we kept saying, and I kept banging on about, like, I always wanted it to be like, you sort of assume that one day Freddie will try and kill Eddie, or that Eddie will try and kill Freddie. So I was always trying to, like, push it further in that direction, and for there to be sort of tension with Susie Glass, that we're like pulling him in different directions. And I think, yeah, I don't know, I suppose actually the development for Fred is that he just continues to fixate on some new thing that he thinks is going to bring him status and power, and it sort of never does. But
although at the end he relinquishes himself, he redeems himself. Sorry,
exactly,
by missing fault, and he's kind of willing to sacrifice himself in death.
Did you ever wonder where the money came from?
Allow me to introduce myself.
I'm Susie Glass. I have certain interests I need to discuss with you.
We know you're kind of used to playing villains, and I wanted to know what do you think differentiates Mr. Johnston from the other ones that you played?
Stanley Johnston is very comported in his demeanor. He's very polite. He's very appropriate, and he's the richest black man in the world. Turn down for what? I think what makes him different than other villains I played is that he's willing to negotiate. He's not going to kill you right away. He's going to talk about it, how to get you to do what he needs you to do, and he'll compromise. But he'll keep chipping away at you till he gets what he wants.
Yeah. And we also know that you're kind of famous for the way that you stare at people. It's like a bit intimidating. And what would you say is the secret to play a good villain?
You are done.
I think the secret is to really inhabit the strength of that character. Is to not play a villain to be playing a villain, but to be playing a character who's human first. And then if you're playing a character who's human, and add to it a very intense bad day, think about that, and that you have to be polite through a very intensely hard day, every day, then you have someone that people kind of is unapproachable, right? Who people don't know how to approach that person.
Yeah.
You know, like many people in my real life, they're afraid of me. They're afraid to approach me. They don't know how to talk to me. They don't know that I'm like this. But even being like this sometimes is being, if you're demonstrative and a strong person, people are a little put off by that because many people aren't.